The summer heat was brutal, radiating off the asphalt in waves that made the pedestrian street shimmer like a mirage. I was sweating through my polo shirt, a stack of neon green flyers clutched in my hand, offering 20% off at a men's boutique 3 blocks down. It was mindless work, but it was honest. And honestly, it was my store. That's the part nobody ever understands. They see me holding the flyers and they assume the worst. They see a broke college kid, a simp, a loser trying to make rent. But the truth is, half the stores on this street have my family's name on the deed. Handing out flyers is just market research. A way to stay humble. Or so I told myself, until I turned the corner and my world tilted off its axis. There, parked illegally in a fire lane, was my Lamborghini. My Lamborghini. A sleek, carbon fiber monster that I'd left at Miller's Auto Body for a routine oil change and a dent repair on the rear bumper. And there, draped over the hood like a prize-winning fish, was my girlfriend, Chloe. Chloe was beautiful. She had that effortless, sun-kissed look that made her look like she belonged on a yacht, not in a state college parking lot. Her hair, which she usually kept in a neat ponytail, was a wild, disheveled mess. Her lipstick was smeared. And she was locked in a passionate, open-mouthed kiss with the guy behind the wheel, Liam, the so-called school hunk. Quarterback. Jawline sharp enough to cut glass. He was the guy every girl wanted and every guy wanted to be. I stood there frozen, flyers slipping from my fingers and scattering across the hot pavement like green snow. A part of my brain was screaming. A larger part was just numb. I watched Liam's hand slide up her back. I watched Chloe moan into his mouth. I watched my car, my beautiful, ridiculously expensive car, being used as a backdrop for their little porno. Finally, I walked over. I didn't yell. I just raised my knuckles and tapped on the driver's side window. Tap, tap, tap. The window hummed down slowly. Liam didn't even look at me at first. He kept his eyes on Chloe, a smug, self-satisfied smirk playing on his lips. Chloe leaned against him, wiping a smear of his lip balm off her mouth. "Who's this?" Liam asked, his voice dripping with boredom. Chloe glanced at me. There was no shame in her eyes. No guilt. Just a flicker of irritation, like I was a fly that had wandered into her perfectly curated photo. "Just a simp," she said, loud enough for me to hear. "Don't worry about him. If he's bothering you, I'll break up with him right now." Just a simp. The words hit harder than any punch. She leaned in and kissed Liam again, a quick, possessive peck on the lips, then turned her back to me. She didn't look at me. She just stared at her phone, probably already editing the selfie she'd taken on the hood of my car. Liam finally deigned to look at me. He ran his tongue over his lips, savoring the taste of Chloe's cherry gloss, and sneered. "You heard the lady. Beat it. Beauties only belong to the strong." The street was quiet. A few passers-by were staring. I could feel the heat rising in my cheeks, but it wasn't from embarrassment. It was from a cold, calculating fury. I took a deep breath. I decided to skip the drama and go straight for the kill. "I don't really care about the girlfriend," I said, my voice even. "But I do have a question. Why are you sitting in my car?" The atmosphere shifted instantly. It was like someone had sucked all the air out of the space between us. Liam finally turned his head. He gripped the steering wheel, staring at me like I'd just spoken a foreign language. The smugness vanished, replaced by confusion. "What do you mean, your car?" he scoffed, but his voice cracked on the last syllable. "This," I said, tapping the carbon fiber roof, "is my car." I walked around to the passenger side. Chloe was staring at me with wide eyes, her phone forgotten. I opened the glove compartment. Chloe flinched, probably thinking I had a weapon, and pulled out a leather folder. I opened it and held it up to the window. "Look," I said. "It has my name on it. Registration, insurance, the whole package. My name. Not yours." Liam stared at the document. His tanned face drained of color, turning a pasty shade of gray. He looked like he was going to be sick. "So, let me ask you again," I said, pulling out my phone. "Why are you in my car? Is this a theft? Should I call the police right now?" "No. No, wait." Liam's hands flew off the steering wheel. He scrambled out of the driver's seat, almost tripping over his own feet. He was taller than me, broader, but right now he looked like a frightened child. He lowered his voice to a trembling whisper. Please. Don't call the cops. Please, man. I leaned against the door, crossing my arms. Start talking. My dad, he stammered. He's a mechanic. Miller's Auto Body. He's working on your car. I saw it. I saw it and it looked so nice. I just wanted to borrow it. Just for a spin. To impress, you know. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I widened my eyes and raised my voice so the people on the street could hear. You call this borrowing? This is theft. Do repair shops usually steal the cars that are in for maintenance? Liam looked like he wanted the ground to swallow him whole. Bro, he whispered. Bro, I'm sorry. Don't get familiar with me, I snapped. We're not brothers. Now, get out of the way. I need to check the condition of my car. He stepped back, shoulders slumped. I walked around to the front of the car. The paint job was still flawless, the lines still sharp. But as I reached the hood, my heart sank. Right there, just above the right headlight, was a dent. A shallow, but undeniable, depression in the carbon fiber. The heat from the engine hadn't even had time to warm the panels yet, and someone had put a dent in it. What, I said slowly, my voice dangerously quiet, is this? Liam panicked. It's not my fault. I swear. It was her. He pointed a shaking finger at Chloe, who was still sitting in the passenger seat, pretending to look at her nails. Your girlfriend, Liam sputtered. She insisted on sitting on the hood. For selfies. She was climbing all over it, grinding her jeans into the paint. She posted a bunch of provocative photos on her moments. I told her to stop. I told her it was carbon fiber, that it gets hard when it's hot, but she couldn't wait 2 minutes for the car to warm up. I pulled out my phone and opened the social media app. I scrolled through Chloe's feed. Nothing. Just the usual duckface selfies and pictures of coffee. She had blocked me. Show me, I said to Liam. He fumbled with his phone and handed it over. There it was. A string of photos on Chloe's WeChat moments. Chloe sitting on the hood of my car, legs crossed, pouting. Chloe leaning over the headlight, pushing her chest out. Chloe kissing the logo on the steering wheel. The comment section was full of fire emojis. I just felt numb. Wow, I said, handing the phone back. Those are bold. Fine. You can go back to your dad's shop. I'm keeping screenshots of these as evidence. You two should probably start preparing for a court summons. Liam looked like he'd been shot. Bro, will it cost a lot? The repair. I looked at the dent. I thought about the cost of carbon fiber repair. I thought about the lawyer fees. About 100,000, I said. Give or take. Liam's face went white. Then green. Then pale again. His eyes welled up with tears. But, she did it. She broke it. Do I have to pay too? I rolled my eyes. Don't you understand how liability works? You were driving the car without permission. You let her on the hood. You're both responsible. Your dad's profits for this year. Gone. Wiped out. Because you wanted to impress a girl. The proud school hunk, the guy who had just told me that beauties belong to the strong, burst into tears. He wiped his nose on his sleeve. That stupid girl. I told her. I told her to be careful. My parents work so hard. They're still paying off the loan for the garage. And now we're screwed. Because of her. I was done watching him cry. I was tired of the heat. I was tired of the drama. I opened the driver's door, Chloe scrambled out without looking at me, and got into my car. I called my lawyer and told him to send an assessor to the shop. As I started the engine, Liam was still standing by the curb, wiping his tears. How come you're the rich one? He wailed. Your girlfriend said you work 3 jobs. She said you hand out flyers. I looked at him through the tinted window. I don't work, I said. I hand out flyers because the stores on this street, 72 of them, my family owns them. Handing out flyers for my own stores. What's wrong with that? I rolled up the window. I didn't want to hear him cry anymore. I looked at my phone. A text message from Chloe lit up the screen. Since you saw it, let's just break up. Don't blame me. Blame your parents for being losers. I'd rather cry in a Lamborghini than laugh on your bicycle handing out flyers. I stared at the message. I fell into deep thought. The Lamborghini was mine. The bicycle in my apartment lobby was also mine. Since both belonged to me, should she be crying or laughing? I typed out a reply, wait for the court summons. But before I could hit send, a red exclamation point appeared. Message failed. User has blocked you. My God. She blocked me. I looked at the dent in my hood. I looked at the screenshot of her selfies. I looked at her text. She owed me $100,000 for the car, plus the $18,000 worth of gifts I'd given her over the past year. Forget the phone call. This required a conversation. I put the car in drive, did a U-turn, and headed straight for the girls' dormitory. It was early morning, so the dorm mother was half asleep. I didn't even slow down. I jogged up the stairs, taking them two at a time, until I reached Chloe's floor. I was about to knock on her door when I heard a voice inside. It was her best friend, Eva. Did you really do what I told you? Eva asked, her voice muffled but clear. Then I heard Chloe. Yes. I lied to him. I told him I took the pill. Eva's voice rose with excitement. That's perfect. I calculated your cycle. You were ovulating these last 2 days. That's why I told you to go on that date with Liam. You're going to get pregnant. Once you're pregnant, you can force him to marry you. You'll be a rich man's wife. Chloe sounded worried. What if he makes me get an abortion? As long as you're pregnant, Eva replied. I have ways to make him acknowledge the baby. You broke up with that loser boyfriend of yours for him. He has to take responsibility. I stood in the hallway, my hand frozen an inch from the door. My blood ran cold. They weren't just cheaters. They were conspirators. They were planning a pregnancy trap. I knocked. The door swung open. Chloe's face fell when she saw me. I already broke up with you, she hissed. Why are you still pestering me? Being poor isn't a crime, but being poor and shameless? That's disgusting. She thought I was here to win her back. This was going to be fun. Chloe stood in the doorway like a guard dog, her arms crossed, her hip cocked. She was wearing a silk robe, her hair still wet from the shower. Behind her, I could see Eva lounging on the bottom bunk, scrolling through her phone. Another girl, Chloe's other roommate, was sitting at a desk studying, trying very hard to pretend she wasn't there. That was Lisa. The quiet one. The poor one. The one with a spine. Can you stop hindering Chloe from pursuing her own happiness? Eva called out from the bunk, not even looking up from her phone. Her voice dripped with contempt. Seriously. Just let go. I stood there, utterly dumbfounded. Pursuing her own happiness. That's what we were calling it now. Making out with another guy in a sports car while your boyfriend of a year watches from the sidewalk? That was happiness. Eva was the worst kind of friend. She was the serpent in the garden, the one who whispered poison into Chloe's ear. I remembered every sarcastic comment she'd made over the past year. If he really loved you, he'd buy you the expensive bag. A man's love is measured by his wallet. She was the reason I'd bought Chloe the new phone. The reason I'd paid for the spa weekends. The reason I'd drained my spending account trying to prove I was good enough. I wasn't here to win Chloe back. I was here to collect. We can break up, I said, my voice flat. I accept that. But the phone you're holding? The one you're about to text your new boyfriend on? I bought that. Give it back. I didn't mention the car. Not yet. Because I knew Chloe. If she found out the Lamborghini belonged to me, she would cling to me like a barnacle. She'd cry. She'd beg. She'd promise to change. I didn't want that. I wanted my stuff back first. Chloe's expression shifted from disgust to disbelief. So that's it. She laughed, a short, barking sound. You're really that petty? You want the phone back? It's my property, I said. Eva finally looked up from her phone. She covered her mouth and let out a theatrical giggle. Oh my God. Can you not see through this? It's a trick. He's asking for the gift back because he can't stand the breakup. He wants you to fight with him. It's called negging, Chloe. Don't fall for it. Chloe's eyes lit up with realization. Oh, I get it. She sneered at me. You think if you take the phone, I'll miss you? You think I won't break up with you because I can't bear to return a gift? She flipped her wet hair over her shoulder. You've forgotten who my new man is. He's rich. A new phone is pocket change to him. Eva chimed in. I just looked up Liam's car online, by the way. That Lamborghini costs millions. He can buy you 10 phones, sis. Chloe nodded, triumphant. Fine. I'll return the phone. But I'm making one last call. I want you to hear something. I want you to understand why I broke up with you. The gap between you and a rich man is so wide, you'll never bridge it in your lifetime. I almost laughed. The rich man she was talking about was Liam. The same Liam whose dad was a mechanic worrying about paying rent. The same Liam who had just been crying on the curb because he owed me $100,000. Put it on speaker, Eva insisted. Let him hear it. Let him know what is missing. Chloe nodded. She dialed Liam's number and pressed the speaker button. As the phone rang, she put on a pitiful, baby doll voice. The kind of voice she used to use with me when she wanted something. Baby, she cooed into the phone. It's me. My stupid ex-boyfriend came to the dorm. He wants me to return the phone he bought me. If I don't have a phone, how am I supposed to text you? Can you? You stupid bitch. Liam's voice exploded from the speaker, so loud that Eva actually jumped. Chloe flinched, holding the phone away from her ear. Don't you dare call me again. Liam screamed. If I see your face anywhere near me, I swear to God, I will beat you black and blue. Stay the hell away from me. Click. The call ended. Silence. The girl at the desk, Lisa, finally looked up. Her eyes were wide. Chloe stared at her phone, her mouth hanging open. Her hand was shaking. Eva looked like she'd just been slapped. Her smug expression was gone, replaced by raw, panicked confusion. What? Eva stammered. She turned to me, her eyes narrowing into angry slits. What did you do? Did you badmouth her downstairs? Did you lie to him? Chloe snapped out of her stupor. Yeah, she shouted, pointing a finger at me. He wasn't like this yesterday. You said something to him, didn't you? You're so despicable. You're trying to ruin my life. I didn't say anything to him, I said, genuinely annoyed. I just told him I wanted my car back. Your car? Chloe laughed, a hysterical edge to her voice. What car? The bicycle you ride to hand out flyers. I sighed. The Lamborghini, Chloe. The one you were sitting on for your selfies. The one Liam stole from his dad's shop to impress you. Eva sneered, recovering her composure. This is exactly why I told you to leave him. He's a pathological liar. He's so jealous of Liam that he's making up stories. A Lamborghini. Please. Then why is Liam screaming at her? Lisa asked quietly from the desk. If my boyfriend had $1 million car, he wouldn't be screaming at me over a dent. He'd just pay for it. Eva shot Lisa a venomous look. Shut up, you poor wretch. No one asked you. I didn't badmouth you, I said, ignoring Eva. Just give me my stuff. The phone, the laptop bag, the jewelry. We'll settle this quietly. If you didn't badmouth me, Chloe insisted, her voice cracking, why is he acting like this? I decided to tell the truth. Because you sat on the hood of $1 million carbon fiber car while it was cold and put a dent in it. He's looking at $100,000 in repair bills. His family can't afford it. He's terrified. And frankly, he should be. Chloe's face went blank. She didn't believe me. Eva was already typing furiously on her phone, probably trying to get Liam to calm down. Whatever, Eva said finally. We don't have time for this. The phone is yours. But you have to do something for us first. I don't have to do anything, I said. You have to apologize to Liam, Eva demanded. You have to tell him you were lying. That Chloe is innocent. You have to clear her name. I'm not apologizing for something I didn't do, I said. And we're not done settling accounts. I walked past Chloe, pushed the door open wider, and sat down at the desk next to Lisa. She moved her books aside without a word. I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app. I started scrolling through a year of transactions. What are you doing? Chloe asked, her voice wary. Calculating, I said. Every gift. Every transfer. Every dinner I paid for that you said you'd split and never did. I want it all back. Chloe's face fell. My friends are all here, she whispered, glancing at Eva and Lisa. We once loved each other. Do you really have to embarrass me like this? You embarrassed yourself on a public street, I said, not looking up. This is just accounting. Eva suddenly held up a phone. The flash went off. She had taken a picture of me sitting at the desk. I'm posting this, she announced, her face twisted with disdain. I'm exposing you. OMG, girls, never date a poor guy. The poorer they are, the more trouble they cause. My best friend got stuck with one. It's terrifying. I frowned. This is between us. Why do you keep making it about money? Why don't you just write gold digger on your forehead and be done with it? Yeah. Eva shot back, laughing. I do like rich guys. So what? You're just jealous because you can't compete. If you were rich, you'd be the one yelling at me. But you're not. You're pathetic. She was getting more and more agitated. She walked to the window and pointed down at the parking lot. Look. Rich men drive million-dollar cars. They have ambition. They have futures. You sit here counting pennies, making the girls who once loved you sick. Lisa finally spoke up. Her voice was quiet but firm. Chloe, why don't you just pay him back? You did cheat on him. This is your fault. In an instant, Chloe's expression curdled. What did you say? Are you taking his side now? Eva sneered. Isn't it obvious? She sees he has a Lamborghini driving ex-boyfriend and she's jealous. So she's pretending to be virtuous. Lisa's face turned red with anger. Don't falsely accuse me. I just think it's wrong. I knew Lisa. She was on a full academic scholarship. She worked as a tutor at night. She refused to take the desserts I used to buy for the whole dorm because, as she put it, she couldn't accept something she didn't earn. She was the only decent person in this room. Chloe sighed dramatically. Lisa, I know you're poor. I know you rely on student loans. I understand why you resent rich people. But you should know, being a good person is more important than getting good grades. Lisa's jaw dropped. Are you saying I'm not a good person? Eva piled on. Oh, I know your type. Poor little goody-two-shoes. You think if you're nice to him now, he'll date you? You know you don't have a chance with a guy who drives a Lamborghini, so you're settling for the flyer guy. It's pathetic. Lisa clenched her fists. I work as a tutor. I earn $2,000 a month. I don't need a man to support me. $2,000. Eva laughed. To you, mosquito legs are meat. I saw you picking food off the floor to eat yesterday. You're a poor wretch. Of course you're not picky about men. Lisa's eyes reddened. Her voice trembled. It fell on the table. Not the floor. What's wrong with that? Enough. Chloe's shout cut through the argument. She slammed her phone down on the table. You're all embarrassing me. Just hurry up and do your math so I can go explain things to my new boyfriend. I ignored them and kept calculating. I left out the repair cost for the car. I was afraid Chloe might try to get back together with me if she knew how much she really owed. I stuck to the gifts. Finally, I had the number. In 1 year, I had given Chloe exactly $18,420 in gifts and transfers. I was stunned. I lived on a few hundred a month. I didn't realize how much I'd been bleeding until I saw it in black and white. Chloe was stunned too. So was Eva. They were students. Where were they going to get $18,000? That can't be right, Chloe whispered. Check it yourself, I said, handing her the phone. She did. Her face got paler with every swipe. Eva looked over her shoulder. Their silence was my answer. 18,000. Chloe looked like she was going to be sick. I don't have that. I can't get that. Eva grabbed her arm. Don't panic, sis. We'll get it. The way you act right now, it determines how Liam sees you. If you're weak, he'll think you're still hung up on this loser. We'll borrow the money. Even if we have to go to a loan shark. You have to cut ties completely. Clean break. Chloe nodded, swallowing her pride. Okay. We'll borrow it. But my parents can't know. If my dad finds out, he'll kill me. I almost laughed. If 18,000 would get her killed, what would happen when the $100,000 repair bill arrived? Chloe and Eva started making calls. It was shockingly easy for them. They called classmates, friends, acquaintances. Each one lent a few hundred. Within an hour, they had 8,000. But they still had a $10,000 gap. Eva gritted her teeth. I know a guy. Connected. He'll lend me the money. But if we don't pay him back on time, it'll be bad. Chloe bit her lip. What happens if we can't pay? Don't worry, Eva said, though her eyes betrayed her fear. Your new boyfriend is rich. 10,000 is nothing to him. She made the call. 30 minutes later, a man in a leather jacket showed up at the dorm entrance with a stack of cash. No questions asked. Just a predatory smile and a contract. Chloe handed me the money. All of it. 18,000 in crumpled bills and digital transfers. Satisfied? She spat, throwing the phone at my chest. I caught it. Now get lost. We're done. I nodded. I turned to Lisa. Can you come outside with me for a second? Lisa looked at me in surprise. Eva immediately started laughing. I knew it. I knew you two had something going on. The second she pays him back, he's already hooking up with the next poor girl. Lisa blushed deep red. She looked down at her shoes. I don't have any such intentions, she whispered. Pretentious coquette, Eva hissed. Keep pretending. No wonder your family is so poor. It's genetic. A whore and a dog. May they last forever. I led Lisa out into the hallway. She wouldn't look at me. I only spoke up because I was angry, she said quietly. Don't read anything into it. I just want to study. I know, I said. You need your scholarship. I get it. I actually need your help. She looked up, curious. With what? I need Chloe's home address. You have the contact directory for the student council, right? Lisa's eyes went wide with alarm. What are you going to do? Don't do anything reckless. She grabbed my hand in her anxiety. Her grip was surprisingly strong. We may be poor, she said earnestly, looking into my eyes, but we have dignity. What she did was wrong, but don't ruin your future over her mistakes. I stared at her. Did she think I was going to key Chloe's parents' car? Burn their house down? Lisa, I said gently, the Lamborghini is mine. I'm sending her the bill. She let go of my hand. Her mouth fell open. Lisa stared at me for a long, silent moment. Her brain was clearly struggling to process what I had just said. The car downstairs, she whispered. The yellow one. Black, I corrected. But yes, that one. She shook her head slowly, like she was trying to clear water from her ears. But, Chloe said you hand out flyers. She said you work 3 jobs. She said you were broke. Chloe is an idiot, I said flatly. I hand out flyers because the stores are mine. It's called staying busy. Staying humble. My family owns half the pedestrian street downtown. The clothing store, the bakery, the electronic shop. 72 stores, Lisa. I'm not broke. I'm just not loud about it. She leaned against the hallway wall, her knees looking a little weak. So when you said you wanted your phone back? I wanted my phone back, I said. I also want my car fixed. And Chloe owes me 18,000 in gifts. And now, thanks to her bony backside, she owes me another 100 grand for the dent. Lisa covered her mouth with her hand. $100,000. Carbon fiber, I said, shrugging. It's expensive. The heat has to be just right. She sat on it cold and the fibers buckled. It's a mess. Lisa looked down the hallway toward Chloe's dorm room. Her expression was complicated. There was no pity there, not really. But there was a kind of grim fascination, like watching a slow-motion car crash. She has no idea, Lisa murmured. She really thinks Liam is the rich one. She's about to find out, I said. That's why I need the address. I'm having the dealership send the damage assessment to her parents' house. Certified mail. Lisa nodded slowly. She turned and walked back toward her room without another word. A few minutes later, she came back with her phone. She scrolled through a student directory and showed me a screen. Chloe's home address. It was only a few miles from the dealership. A modest neighborhood. Middle class. The kind of place where a $100,000 surprise repair bill would feel like a nuclear bomb going off in the living room. "Thank you," I said. I texted the address to my lawyer and the dealership. "She's going to lose her mind," Lisa said quietly. "She made her choices," I replied. I started to walk away, then stopped. I looked back at Lisa. "By the way, the phone. Chloe gave it back, but I don't actually want it. It's got a year of her grimy fingerprints all over it. You want it. Yours looks ancient." Lisa blinked. No. I can't accept that." "It's not a gift," I said. "It's evidence. Hold on to it for me. If Chloe tries to claim I stole it, I need a witness who can produce it." That was a lie. I just felt bad for her. She was wearing shoes held together with duct tape. But I knew she wouldn't accept charity. So I gave her a job instead. "Fine," she said slowly. "But I'm not using it. I'm just storing it." "Deal." I walked back toward Chloe's dorm room. I had one more piece of business before I left. When I knocked, Eva opened the door. Her face crumpled with disgust when she saw me. "What now? Come to serenade her? Bring her flowers?" "No," I said, stepping past her. "I came to return something." Chloe was sitting on her bed, scrolling through her phone. She looked up at me with weary contempt. "I told you to get lost. We're done." "I know," I said. I held out the phone she had thrown at me. "You don't have a phone now. You can borrow this for a few days. Until you get a new one." Eva clutched her chest and made a retching sound. "I'm going to be sick. I told you. It's a trick. He's trying to play the on-again, off-again game. Don't fall for it, Chloe." Chloe snatched the phone from my hand. "Do you really take me for a fool?" she snapped. "Can you stop pestering me? You're embarrassing me in front of my friends." I held up my hands in surrender, just trying to be civil. "Civil?" Eva laughed. "You're a simp. A pathetic, groveling simp. She dumped you for a guy with a Lamborghini. Take the hint." I didn't argue. I just turned and walked out. I was halfway down the stairs when I heard a phone ring. Then shouting. Then a scream. I smiled to myself. The dealership worked fast. Upstairs, the chaos was already unfolding. I could hear Eva's voice, confused. "Chloe, why are my parents calling you?" I leaned against the railing and listened. Chloe's voice came through the open door, shrill and confused. "Mom, what's wrong? Why are you screaming?" She didn't put the call on speaker, but her mother's voice was loud enough to carry down the hall. "Don't call me Mom. Do you know how hard your father and I work? You've ruined us. Completely ruined us." A pause. Then Chloe's voice, trembling. "What did I do? Mom, what are you talking about?" More muffled screaming. Then Chloe burst into tears. I heard Eva rush to her side. "Sis? What's wrong? What happened?" Chloe's voice was a sob. The dent in the car. They sent the bill to my house. $137,000. Where am I supposed to get that kind of money? Eva gasped. "That's impossible. You just sat on it. How does sitting on something cost $100,000? Carbon fiber." Chloe wailed. "He said it was carbon fiber. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know?" I heard Eva pacing. Okay, don't panic. We have a card to play." "What card?" Chloe sniffled. "I have nothing." "The baby," Eva whispered. I had to strain to hear her. "If you're pregnant, if you're carrying his child, he can't make you pay. He'll have to take care of you. He'll have to marry you." Chloe's sobbing quieted. "You think so?" "I know so," Eva said, her voice fierce. "No judge is going to make a pregnant woman pay $100,000 to the father of her unborn child. And his parents. They'll want the baby. They'll pay for the car just to keep you quiet." I almost laughed out loud. Their plan was insane. Delusional. but I had to admire the sheer audacity of it. Chloe took a shaky breath. Okay, you're right. I'll call him. I'll tell him I need to talk. Don't call, Eva said. Text. But be sweet. Be vulnerable. Make him feel like a hero. I decided to go back up, partly out of curiosity, partly because I wanted to see their faces. When I appeared in the doorway, Chloe was wiping her eyes, her phone in her hand. When she saw me, her grief turned to rage. What are you doing here? She spat. Come to gloat. No, I said. I came to. I don't want to hear it. She screamed. Get out. I'm already in a bad enough mood without you making it worse. Eva pointed a shaking finger at the door. Yeah. Get lost, loser. We're trying to figure out how to calm Liam down. The last thing we need is your poor, jealous face in here. I held up my hands. I was just going to suggest you read the documents before. Documents? Eva shrieked. We don't want to see your fake documents. Get out of here before we call campus security and report you for harassment. Chloe nodded, her jaw set. If you don't leave right now, I'll accuse you of stalking. We'll see you in court. I blinked. You'll see me in court. That's right, she hissed. Now get out. I nodded slowly. Okay. Fine. But just so you know, we're probably going to see each other in court anyway. They didn't ask what I meant. They just kept screaming at me to leave. So I left. I stood outside the door, listening. Chloe's voice, shaky, recording a voice message. Liam, please come to my dorm. I need to talk to you. It's important. Please. A few seconds later, her phone pinged. She played the voice message on speaker. Liam's voice, raw and furious. Fine. Come downstairs, you slut. I've got something to say to you too. Chloe looked at Eva, her face pale. He sounds so angry. Do you really think he'll forgive me? He will, Eva said, but there was a tremor in her voice. Just beg. Cry. Tell him about the baby. I'm not even sure I'm pregnant yet, Chloe whispered. Then fake it, Eva said. We'll worry about the details later. I stepped aside as the door flew open. Chloe and Eva pushed past me, not even acknowledging my existence. They walked toward the stairs, arms linked, whispering to each other. A moment later, Lisa came out of the room. She looked at me, then down the hall where Chloe and Eva had disappeared. Are you going to watch? She asked. I think I have to, I said. It's like a nature documentary. We walked downstairs together. The scene outside was already drawing a crowd. Liam was standing by the curb, next to my car. His face was red. His eyes were puffy. And there was a bright red handprint on his cheek. He had told his dad about the dent. His dad had expressed his disappointment physically. Chloe and Eva walked up to him, all false confidence. Eva was whispering in Chloe's ear. Be sweet. Be humble. Touch his arm. Liam, baby, Chloe said, her voice dripping with false sweetness. Let me explain. I didn't mean to. Explain to your grandmother, you bitch, Liam snarled. Before anyone could react, he lunged forward. He grabbed Chloe by her hair. She shrieked. And then he slapped her. Hard. The crack echoed across the parking lot. The crowd gasped. Eva screamed. Chloe stumbled, clutching her cheek. Baby. Chloe cried, tears streaming down her face. Hit me if it makes you feel better. It's my fault. I'll make it up to you. I'll be with you forever. I don't want you forever. Liam roared. He punched her in the mouth. Her head snapped back. Blood sprayed. A white tooth flew through the air and skittered across the asphalt. Chloe stared at the tooth. She touched her mouth. Her fingers came away red. She let out a wail of pure horror. My tooth. You knocked out my tooth. Eva, get milk. You're supposed to put teeth in milk. Eva was frozen, her face ashen. She wasn't helping. She was just staring at Liam like he was a monster she had summoned and couldn't control. Liam kept swinging. He punched her again. And again. Chloe crumpled to the ground, covering her head with her arms. Stop. Eva finally shrieked. She's a girl. You're going to kill her. Liam stopped, breathing hard. He looked at his bloody knuckles. Then he looked at me. I was standing 10 feet away, arms crossed, watching. Liam walked toward me. Eva's eyes followed him. Then she looked at me, confused. "Heartthrob," Eva said, her voice shaking. "I know you're upset. But Chloe has suffered so much for you. And this loser. He's been harassing her all morning. If she's acting strange, it's because of him." Liam ignored her. He stopped in front of me. And then, in front of everyone, he dropped to his knees. The parking lot went silent. Even the birds seemed to stop chirping. Liam, the school hunk, the quarterback, the guy who had been punching Chloe in the face 30 seconds ago, was kneeling in front of me. On the hot asphalt. Tears streaming down his cheeks. "Bro," he choked out. "I'm so sorry. Please. Please forgive me." I looked down at him. My expression was neutral, but inside I was reeling. I had expected anger. I had expected blame. I had not expected a public grovel. "What are you doing?" Eva shrieked. Her voice was high and thin, like a kettle about to boil over. "Why are you apologizing to him?" Liam didn't look at her. He kept his eyes on me. "I shouldn't have stolen your car," he said, his voice cracking. "I shouldn't have shown off. I shouldn't have taken your girlfriend. I'm despicable. I'm disgusting. Just please don't make my dad pay for the damage. He can't afford it. We can barely make rent." The crowd murmured. Students were pulling out their phones, recording. This was better than any reality TV. Chloe, still on the ground, bleeding from her mouth, looked up. Her eyes were wide, her face swollen. What is he talking about?" she mumbled through her missing tooth. "His car? What car?" I looked at her. "The Lamborghini, Chloe. The one you were sitting on. It's mine." She stared at me. Her brain refused to process the words. "No," she whispered. "No, that's not possible. You hand out flyers. You're poor." "I hand out flyers for my own stores," I said patiently. 72 of them. I'm not poor. I'm just not an idiot who flashes his money around." Eva's face had gone pale. Then red. Then pale again. She looked like a computer that had encountered a fatal error. That's not true. You're lying. You're a liar." Liam turned his head and spat at Eva's feet. "Shut up, you trash. Your whole family is trash. He's not lying. I saw the registration. The car is his. And now I owe him $100,000 because your stupid friend sat on the hood." Chloe let out a sound. It wasn't a scream. It wasn't a cry. It was a low, animal moan of pure despair. She pushed herself up on her elbows, her arms trembling. "You," she whispered, pointing a shaking finger at Eva. "You told me to do it. You told me to go after him. You said he was rich." Eva backed away, her hands up. "I didn't know. How was I supposed to know the car wasn't his?" "You said you looked it up." Chloe screamed. "You said it cost millions." "I looked up the car." Eva shrieked back. "Not the owner. How was I supposed to know the flyer guy owned a Lamborghini?" Chloe tried to stand. Her leg buckled. She had twisted her ankle when Liam threw her to the ground. She hobbled toward me, her face a mess of blood, tears, and snot. "Baby," she whimpered, grabbing my arm. "Baby, please. Let me explain. I didn't know. I didn't know the car was yours. If I had known, I never would have. You never would have cheated on me," I asked, pulling my arm away. "Or you never would have gotten caught." She opened her mouth, then closed it. She had no answer. "You sat on the hood of my car for selfies," I continued. "You made out with another guy in my driver's seat. You called me a simp to his face. You texted me that you'd rather cry in a Lamborghini than laugh on my bicycle." I paused. "The bicycle is also mine, by the way. But that's not the point." Chloe was crying now. Real crying. The kind that comes from a place of pure, bottomless regret. "I'll do anything. Anything. I'll pay you back. I'll work for you. You already owe me $18,000 for the gifts," I said. "Plus $137 for the dent. Plus medical bills for Liam's knuckles, I guess. I looked at Liam. He was still kneeling, watching the exchange with hollow eyes. I'm not paying her a cent, Liam muttered. She can take me to court. I'll go to jail. I don't care anymore. I patted him on the shoulder. See? Now you're being sensible. I turned back to Chloe. You heard him. He's not paying. That means the full 137 is on you and your family. Chloe's legs gave out. She sank to the ground, sitting in a puddle of her own tears and blood. My parents will kill me, she whispered. They'll actually kill me. They should, Eva muttered under her breath. Chloe's head snapped up. This is your fault, she screamed at Eva. You're the one who told me to break up with him. You're the one who said Liam was a catch. You're the one who said to sit on the hood for the selfies. I was trying to help you. Eva shouted back. You were complaining every day about how boring he was. How he never took you anywhere nice. I gave you an out. An out? Chloe laughed, a hysterical, barking sound. You gave me a one-way ticket to bankruptcy. And now I owe $100,000 and I'm missing a front tooth. She turned to me, her expression shifting from rage to desperate pleading. Please. Please, baby. I'll do anything. I'll be whatever you want. Just drop the charges. Don't make me pay. I looked at her. Really looked at her. The girl I had loved for a year. The girl I had bought dinner for, bought gifts for, stayed up late texting. She was a stranger to me now. A stranger with a swollen face and a bloody mouth and a missing tooth. Remember what you said to Liam? I asked quietly. If you don't like it, I'll break up with him right away. You threw me away like garbage. You didn't even look at me. You just turned your back. She sobbed. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Yes, I said. You were. And now you have to live with it. I turned to Liam. Get up, I said. He scrambled to his feet. I'm not a monster, I said. Your dad is a good mechanic. He doesn't deserve to lose his business because you're an idiot. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to pay back the damages over 3 years. Once you graduate and get a job. Interest-free. And you're going to work at your dad's shop every weekend until the debt is cleared. Understood? Liam stared at me. Tears welled up in his eyes again, but this time they were tears of relief. Really? You mean it? I mean it, I said. But if I ever see you near my car again, I'll break your legs. Deal? Deal, he whispered. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Don't call me bro. He nodded, wiped his face, and walked away. He didn't look at Chloe. He didn't look at Eva. He just walked. I turned to Chloe. She was still on the ground, looking up at me with pathetic, pleading eyes. One more thing, I said. The morning after pill. Take it. She blinked. What? You heard me, I said. You were planning to trap Liam with a pregnancy. I heard you in your dorm. Don't bother. He's broke. His family is broke. Even if you had his baby, you wouldn't get a penny. And frankly, I don't want an innocent life to be killed before it even sees the world because of your bad character. Chloe's face crumbled. She looked at Eva. You told me to do that, she whispered. You said it would work. Eva was backing away slowly, her eyes darting around like a trapped animal. I was just trying to help, she stammered. I didn't know. You didn't know anything. Chloe screamed. You ruined my life. My parents are going to kill me. I'm going to be in debt for the rest of my life. And it's all because of you. Eva started crying. What about the money I borrowed? The $10,000 from the loan shark? You have to help me pay that back. Chloe laughed, a bitter, broken sound. Help you? I hope they break your legs. I hope they take your kneecaps. You deserve it. Eva looked at me, her face pale with terror. Please, she whispered. You have money. You can help me. Just a loan. Just to get me started. I shook my head. You called me a loser. You called me pathetic. You took a picture of me and posted it online to humiliate me. And now you want my help. I'll do anything, she begged. I'll clean your house. I'll wash your car. You'll get a job, I said. Like everyone else. I turned and walked toward my car. Lisa was standing by the door, her arms crossed, watching the whole scene with wide eyes. Well, I said, opening the driver's door. That was exhausting. Lisa looked at me. You're not going to help her. With the loan shark. She made her choices, I said. Just like Chloe. Just like Liam. We all make choices. We just have to live with them. Lisa was quiet for a moment. Then she said, Can I ask you something? Sure. Why did you give the phone back to Chloe, after everything she did? I thought about it. Because I'm not cruel. I wanted her to have a way to contact her parents. To figure things out. Even if she doesn't deserve it. Lisa nodded slowly. She looked at Chloe, who was still sitting on the ground, sobbing. She looked at Eva, who was pacing in circles, muttering to herself. I should go, Lisa said. I have a tutoring session in an hour. Get in, I said. I'll drive you. She stared at me. Are you drunk? It's broad daylight. Why would I get in your car? I laughed. Fair point. I got into my Lamborghini, started the engine, and drove away. In my rearview mirror, I watched Chloe's figure grow smaller and smaller until she was just a speck on the pavement. I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel angry. I just felt tired. The days that followed were chaos. Liam's family and Chloe's family eventually reached an agreement. Both families would pay half of the repair costs. It was the only way to avoid a lawsuit that would have dragged on for years. I heard from Lisa, who heard from the other roommates, that Chloe's parents beat her so badly when they found out that she ended up in the hospital. Her leg was broken. Not a hairline fracture. A real, bone-snapping, cast-wearing, crutch-using break. Apparently, her father had worked overtime for 3 years to save up for a down payment on a house. That down payment was now gone. Wiped out by a dent in a car hood. Chloe didn't come back to school for the rest of the year. She took a leave of absence. When she finally did return, she walked with a limp. The leg hadn't healed properly. The doctors said they might have to break it again and reset it. She didn't talk to anyone. She didn't look at anyone. She just went to class and went back to her room. The few times I saw her on campus, she looked like a ghost. Pale. Thin. Haunted. Eva's story was different. She came back to school, but she was a pariah. Everyone had seen the videos. Everyone knew what she had done. She was the girl who had sabotaged her best friend's relationship for a shot at rich men. She was the girl who had mocked Lisa for being poor while living on borrowed money herself. People called her names in the hallway. They left nasty notes on her door. They mocked her online. She tried to get a job to pay back the loan shark, but no one would hire her. Her reputation had preceded her. Eventually, she came to me. She showed up at one of my family's restaurants, dressed in a cheap blazer, clutching a resume. Her eyes were red. Her hands were shaking. Please, she said. I'll do anything. I'll scrub floors. I'll wash dishes. I just need a paycheck. The loan shark is coming tomorrow. He said he'd break my fingers. I looked at her for a long time. I remembered her standing in the dormitory window, pointing at my car, calling me a loser. I remembered her posting that picture of me online. I remembered her sneering at Lisa for picking food off the table. I have a position, I said finally. Toilet cleaner. At the mall location. Minimum wage. You start tomorrow. She stared at me. Toilets. You look down on poor people, I said. Now you can clean up after them. It's poetic. She opened her mouth to argue, then closed it. She nodded. Okay. Thank you. She cleaned toilets for 6 months. Word spread. Students started going to that mall specifically to use the bathroom, just to see her scrubbing the bowls. Some of them took pictures. Some of them laughed. Some of them asked her if she needed a loan. She cried every day. But she paid back the loan shark. And she learned a lesson that no classroom could teach. As for Liam, he kept his head down. He worked at his dad's shop every weekend, scrubbing grease off floor mats and changing oil. He stopped calling himself the school hunk. He stopped flashing his jawline at every girl who walked by. He just worked. I saw him a year later at a gas station. He was pumping gas into a beat-up Honda Civic. He looked tired. He looked older. "Hey," he said, nodding at me. "Hey," I said back. "I've paid back about 20%, he said. "I'm on track." "Good," I said. He hesitated. "I'm sorry. About everything. About Chloe. About the car. About being an idiot." "I know," I said. "That's why I gave you the payment plan." He nodded and got into his car. I never saw him again. And Chloe texted me. Constantly. "I miss you. I made a mistake. Can we talk?" I blocked her number. She got a new number. "Please. Just one coffee. Just to explain." I blocked that one too. "I'm still in love with you." I blocked her again. "If you don't take me back, I'll hurt myself." That one I didn't block. That one I screenshot and sent to her mother. Her mother called me back an hour later, apologizing profusely, promising to handle it. I heard screaming in the background. Then a crash. Then the line went dead. Chloe stopped texting after that. A few months later, I got a letter. Handwritten. On pink stationery. "Dear Ethan, I know you don't want to hear from me, but I need to say this. I was wrong. I was stupid. I threw away the best thing that ever happened to me because I was too blind to see it. I'm not asking for another chance. I know I don't deserve one. I just wanted you to know that I'm sorry. I'm really, truly sorry. I hope you find someone who deserves you. Chloe." I read the letter twice. Then I folded it up and put it in a drawer. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't even sad. I just felt nothing. She had made her choices. She had paid for them. That was the end of it. The only person from that whole mess I still thought about was Lisa. Lisa didn't text me. She didn't call. She didn't show up at my restaurants asking for favors. She just disappeared into her studies. I saw her on campus sometimes, walking to the library with a stack of books, her head down, her earbuds in. She never looked my way. I admired that. She had dignity. She had pride. She had absolutely no interest in my money. That, more than anything, made me want to know her. The last year of college passed in a blur of exams, business meetings, and late nights. I graduated with a degree I didn't need and a net worth that kept climbing. But something felt hollow. The drama with Chloe had left a scar. Not on my heart, that had healed, but on my perception of people. How many of them looked at me and saw a wallet? How many of them smiled at me because of the car I drove, not the person I was? I thought about Lisa often. Not in a romantic way, not really. I thought about the way she had stood up to Chloe and Eva. The way she had refused to take the free desserts I offered. The way she had grabbed my hand in the hallway, worried I was going to do something stupid. She was the real deal. A good person. Not because she was poor. Not because she was virtuous. Because she was her. After graduation, I heard through the grapevine that Lisa had moved back to her hometown. A small, rural town in the mountains. She had taken a teaching job at an elementary school. She was making next to nothing. I wasn't surprised. That was exactly the kind of thing Lisa would do. I didn't contact her. I figured she had her life, I had mine. But I couldn't stop thinking about what she had said in that hallway. We may be poor, but we have dignity. I had money. Lots of it. But did I have her dignity? Her quiet strength? Her refusal to bend? Probably not. A year after graduation, I got an email. From Lisa. "Dear Ethan, I hope this doesn't seem strange. I got your email from the alumni directory. I'm writing because I need a favor. I know that's bold. But I'm asking anyway. The school where I teach has almost nothing. No books. No supplies. The kids share pencils. The roof leaks. I've been paying for things out of my own pocket, but my tutoring money only goes so far. I was wondering if you might be able to organize a clothing drive. Or a book drive. Anything would help. The winters here are cold, and some of the kids don't have coats. I understand if you can't. I just thought I would ask. Lisa." I read the email 3 times. Then I called my assistant. "I need you to buy 500 winter coats," I said. "And 1,000 books. And a new roof for an elementary school. My assistant paused. A roof. A roof, I said. Figure it out. 2 weeks later, I drove up to Lisa's town. It was a 6-hour drive. I didn't take the Lamborghini. I took a pickup truck, filled with boxes of coats and books and school supplies. Lisa was standing outside the school when I arrived. She looked the same. Same serious eyes. Same practical ponytail. Same duct tape shoes. You didn't have to come yourself, she said. I wanted to, I said. We unloaded the truck together. She didn't gush. She didn't cry. She just said thank you and got to work. I watched her with the children. She was patient, kind, firm. They adored her. She was exactly the kind of teacher I would have wanted as a kid. Can I take you to dinner? I asked, after the last box was unpacked. She looked at me. Why? Because I'm hungry, I said. And because I want to. She thought about it for a long time. Then she nodded. There's a diner in town. The food is terrible. Perfect, I said. We walked to the diner. It was cold. She didn't have a coat. I gave her mine. I'm not interested in dating, she said, as we sat down in a vinyl booth. I'm not interested in your money. I'm not interested in your car. I didn't ask, I said. You were thinking it, she replied. I laughed. Okay. Maybe I was. But that's not why I'm here. Why are you here? I looked at her honest, open face, at her chapped lips and tired eyes and chipped fingernails. Because you're the only person I've ever met who looked at me and saw a human being, I said. Not a wallet. Not a status symbol. Not a simp. Just a person. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, You're not a simp, Ethan. You were never a simp. You were just kind. And Chloe mistook your kindness for weakness. That's a very generous way of putting it. It's the truth, she said. Now eat your burger. It's getting cold. The burger was terrible. The fries were soggy. The coffee tasted like dishwater. It was the best meal I'd had in years. We didn't end up together. Not in the way movies end. Lisa wasn't interested in romance, and I wasn't interested in pushing. She had her mission. I had mine. But we stayed in touch. I sent supplies to her school every few months. She sent me letters from her students, drawings of stick figures and lopsided hearts and thank you notes written in crayon. Years passed. I built my business. She built her school. Neither of us got rich in the way the world measures wealth. But I like to think we both got rich in the ways that matter. I never forgot what she said about dignity. About standing up for yourself, even when you have nothing. About refusing to bend, even when the world tells you to kneel. That remarkable girl. That quiet, stubborn, brilliant girl. I hope her life took her far. I suspect it did. And Chloe. I heard she moved to another state. Changed her name. Started over. I hope she found peace. I hope she learned her lesson. But I don't think about her much anymore. Some people are storms. Some people are anchors. Lisa was an anchor. And me. I'm just a guy who hands out flyers sometimes. But those stores are mine.